Opposite Gloves here, and today we're going to be looking at RMing vocals, FMing vocals, and just regular pitch shifting vocals. Now, if you remember from NewTone, it's pretty much the same thing as NewTone, but I have an example here. This is a track. We're going to start first with the good old pitch shift. It's probably the one I use the most. It's very useful if you watch the layering video. You can get a whole bunch, maybe pitch shift one, and then fade it in and out to add color to your voice. Here, I've got a pretty good example of a pitch shifted vocal. So I'll start it from like right here.
Jumpin', 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 so 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 jumpin', 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 so.
So that's what it is. It's called Jumpsuit. It has been published. This is the mix down, so everything is pretty darn soft, and the master's obviously loud. This is not as loud. So anyways, let's just take a look at this. So this is the vocal.
Jumpin', 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 so jump.
And it was sort of a vocal I recorded on a whim, but if we go ahead and take this, make it unique, and reduce it back to what it was, this is what it was before that.
Jumpin', 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 so.
And we turned it into this.
Jumpin', 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 so.
And so it's really, really simple to do this. So you just gotta, there's basically two ways your vocals are going to sound. You're either going to get this loppy, low end type sound. I don't say loppy in a negative context. It's just that's what the word that comes to mind. And then you get this sort of crunchier one, which sort of resembles AM modulation. But anyways, what we can look at here is there are a couple of algorithms, but in reality, and they've sort of shown you there are only really two big ones. There's a real-time stretch mode, which is kind of cool if you want to stretch your vocals and do tempo changes and stuff, but I'm not gonna mess with that. I never really have. I haven't had to yet. Maybe one day I will, but it's not super duper important for me. So what we have here is we have generic and mono, and if I play it right now, it's normal.
Jumpin', 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 so.
And if I pitch it down, this is what it sounds like in mono.
Jumpin', 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 so.
And these are just algorithms they have made to pitch shift things and keep their timing the same. You could also time stretch things by, if we reduce this, and then we could stretch it out by holding this stretch button.
Jumpin', 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 so.
And that's not something that I'm going to be talking about really, because I never really use that vocal processing unless I'm doing some sort of weird vocal chop thing. Like that's not really processing to make the vocal still sound like the vocal. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and look at the other one, which is, well, let's pitch it up. Here's what it sounds like pitched up.
Jumpin', 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 so jumpin', jumpin'.
And I think I actually do layer that in somewhere in here, but I can't remember where. And then the other one is generic, which is, this is what people typically find when they pitch stuff down.
Jumpin', 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 so jumpin', jumpin'.
So we've talked about this one already a little bit. You want to do some formant shifting to make this sound a little more natural, and then pitching it up.
Jumpin', 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 so jumpin', jumpin'.
And so both of these can be useful layers. By themselves, they might be a little much, but you could take them in and out. And that's pretty much that for the time stretching. That's what they sound like. You just kind of have to know what they sound like. If we come over here, though, I have here a couple of examples of additional ways you can achieve similar sounding things. And one of them is AM. So this vocal is coming in to here, and I actually made a plugin. And all it does is not anything geniusy. It's just all it does is takes a sine wave or a wave modulating waveform. You pick one, so it's an audio rate waveform, and you can select the pitch here, and it will send that to the voice. Oop, I'm being protected. It will send that to the audio, and it will modulate it for you. So it's basically just turning the volume up really fast, up and down really fast according to the modulating waveform. And this is what it sounds like. You can do the same thing by just grabbing if you go to more plugins, look up the Fruity Balance plugin and load that. And then what you can do is you can go to volume, automate it, change the waveform type to line or wave, and bring it down, and you get that. So that's really quick. Let me show you this method, because you're not going to have, no one's going to have that but me. So unless you like make one yourself too, which I totally recommend making. But what you can do is right now it sounds like this.
Jumpin', 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 so.
Right, so we need to be a bit quicker and maybe turn this.
Jumpin', 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 so.
So you see it sounds a little bit similar.
Jumpin', 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 so. Jumpin', 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 so. Jumpin', 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 so.
So that's just a little bit more of a process, but if you take this away and put mine on.
Jumping, 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 so jumping, 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 so.
What's cool about this too is if we move it up or down, these parameters are not automatable. I'm not really sure how to do that. I made this in Flowstone, so it's nothing crazy. So anyways,
Jumping, 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 so jumping, 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 so.
so you see, if we go even higher,
Jumping, 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 so jumping, 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 so. Jumping, 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 so jumping, 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 so. Jumping, jumping, jumping.
and that is without anything. And then also I have a low frequency oscillator, so this is 0 to 20 hertz. So I wanted a separate knob for that.
Jumping, 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 so jumping, 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 so.
See, it's not quite fast enough. So
Jumping, 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 so jumping, 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 so.
I have no idea what the hertz values are. I just know that they get higher as I go up. I don't have like a specific readout, so you have to use your ear. But anyways, that's that. And I showed you how to do that with the Fruity Balance. So now you can't be like, oh, we don't have that tool. You have something that can do something very similar to it. And then let's go ahead and look at the other one, which is actually on this one. Counterintuitively, it's not been named. And this one is frequency modulating our stuff. So this is FM. I'm not going to delve into FM. I have a whole playlist on FM, Learn FM, all that good stuff. But basically, FM8 has this cool FX option. So you can bring an input in. You see I brought it in, and I'm sending the input directly out. So the voice is coming into my channel. It's going into FM8, and it's coming out. And then the F is the operator that I am sending to modulate my input, which is here. And so it is modulating the pitch up and down at a rate of 56 times per second. Higher rates don't really sound like anything. So if you want to use this, this would be another one of those sort of specialty effects. I wouldn't really recommend doing this to your whole vocal. Maybe you it really depends on what you're doing, I guess. Some styles, I guess, could use this. But anyway, it sounds like this.
Jumping, 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 so jumping, 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 so.
So if we change this, like check it out. If we just go up to 100, all of a sudden we lose like all intelligibility. You can't even tell what it's saying.
Jumping, 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 so jumping, 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 so. Jumping, 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 so jumping, jumping, jumping.
So the lower ends are definitely a little more intelligible. It'd still be darn hard to tell what he's saying. Like, whoa, you ever have those songs where you try to figure out what they're saying? Yep, this would make that one of those songs.
Jumping, jumping, jumping,
So jumping, 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 so
So just
jumping, 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 so.
jumping, 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 so.
something else to note is a triangle wave is substantially better than a sine wave because of how FM works.
Jumping, 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 so jumping,
See, so here
jumping, 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 so jumping, jumping.
there are reasons for that. I will put a link to the FM series down below if you're curious about learning more about FM. But anyways, this is a really, really simple thing to do, really, though. We could actually get quite a bit more complicated and do some pretty interesting things. They also have their own effects in here, too. So we could, like, add our own chorus. There's a chorus delay in here.
Jumping, 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 so jumping, jumping, jumping.
And you can get something pretty cool out of FM8. I don't use it as much as an effect as I probably could. But that's that. So those are some of the options, some timbres that you may or may not have been aware that you had available to yourself. If you found this enjoyable and a useful video, like it and subscribe, of course. Support me on Patreon. And have a blessed day.